everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, they say when one door closes, another door opens. And well, when it comes to Arcane, that is exactly how we got Deathloop. In a recent interview with Rock Paper Shotgun, Arcane co-founder Rafael Colantonio shared Bethesda wanted us to do something. They didn't quite know where we were going after Dishonored. Do we want Dishonored 3? I don't know. Let's make something simple and short before, and let's see. Colantonio later went on to say, and then Deathloop became a big thing over the years. That was the funny thing. Nah, we don't want to do Dishonored 3, but if you can pitch us a small game, something that maybe has multiplayer so we can learn multiplayer, something that maybe has microtransactions, maybe something with a lot of recycling like a roguelike. And of course, Deathloop was not small. And if anything, it really leaned into the repetition of a roguelike because that was the core gameplay mechanic of it. And it has all the Dishonored influences in it, from the balancing of weapons to the mystical powers. In fact, there was confirmation that the Black Reef takes place off the shore of Tivia, which is one of the locations in Dishonored. So technically, it's world building and things like that. So that's pretty interesting. Would I still like a Dishonored 3? You're damn right I would. I thought Dishonored 2, the ending felt really rushed, especially dealing with the Outsider. That always... I always wish we'd gotten more of that universe because there's a whole other continent of interesting lore. Go look it up. The lore of Dishonored is fascinating, and I wish we would get more of that. But, I'll settle for what I can settle for, but fingers crossed, Dishonored 3 one day. Speaking of world building, yesterday we got a big look at Street Fighter 6 and its world building with the single-player story mode, World Tour. In World Tour, you'll be able to create a custom character, train with your favorite Street Fighters, take on missions, travel the world, customize your moves and gear, and so much more. I am genuinely surprised how in-depth they went in on this. It is exactly what I've always wanted, and I cannot stress this enough. It is going to be so much fun to play. The best part is, according to what we've seen, we get a ton of literal street fighting as you engage with fighters throughout the city, like a man with backpack on his way to work. You know what? Challenge them to a fight. That sailor? Challenge them to a fight. A refrigerator? You know the drill. The world is your fighting oyster. The showcase also featured a look at various modes, including the Battle Hub, Arcade Mode, Extreme Battles, and of course, the return of ranked matches. Additionally, there will be new characters added to the roster every year, and if all this Street Fighter 6 news has you itching to play the game, well, guess what? You're in luck. The Street Fighter 6 official demo is available right now on PS4 and PS5 and will arrive on Xbox and Steam April 26th. I was already excited about this one from the Jury trailer. I love Jury. It's a problem, I'm aware. And this just added to it. The first time I saw the story mode stuff, I was like, that'll be a fun thing. This made it seem like a major part of the game that looked really cool. And honestly, I can't wait to make an in-game Jesse and train him in like Chun-Li abilities. It's gonna be amazing. I'm very excited for this. And while we're talking things I'm excited for, it's time for your Crenminute.
Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to the Crenminute, my once-a-week segment where I get to talk about whatever I want for a minute. This week, I'm talking about nostalgic old games that are unconventional, I would say. Because everybody's got your favorite old games, like, we used to play, this big mainstream game, like Mario, right? Or like Banjo-Kazooie's kind of a bigger title, even though it's not as big as like Mario or something, those types of games, right? Where some people like, oh, Final Fantasy in this. But I want to talk about unconventional nostalgic games. And that's because it's almost the time of the year where I make my annual MU Online revisit. And I'm kind of curious, you can comment down below, what is an unconventional nostalgic game that you always kind of come back to every once in a while just to play, even though it's not really well known? Because that's MU Online for me, right? Like I played a bunch of that back in the day. It's not a great game, but it's just fun to go back and kind of walk around every year, So that's my Crenminute. See ya.
Thanks again, Crendor. Anyway, that is it. I'll see you on Monday for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.